Hi, everyone. My name is Theresa Bandru, and I'm the owner and founder of Golden Owl Consulting, a small business marketing and events firm in Carbondale. And I'm here to help you guys along your journey through this class. Last week, John had presented to you guys that you will be doing a video and helping local small businesses in your area that have really felt the impact of COVID-19. The importance of this is bringing your small business community together. Essentially, right from the start, you're going to realize that your network means so much to you, and we're going to teach you guys how to utilize that. I'm also going to help you take all of your ideas for this video and this project from your head onto paper, onto the medium that you guys want to present it on, which for this project is video. Other mediums include social media posts, website blogs, radio advertisements, and the list is truly endless. But for this, we're going to focus on video. I also have someone coming in that I've worked with prior to this from Park Multimedia. His name is Dan, and he's going to help you guys with some video editing and how to tune your video to what you want and kind of make it your own once you film everything, and how to put it together to make a great product that we're going to push out and try to get exposed on some local news stations, through some local chamber social medias, and a lot of other platforms that we're going to help you guys brainstorm. So I'm not going to tell you them all just yet. First, I want to get into my background a little bit with you guys. I know that John had told you that I was a graduate of Carbondale area, class of 2006. From there, I went to Temple University and studied sport and recreation management through the Fox School of Business and graduated in 2010. From there, that's when things really kind of took a turn, and I thought that I would be working in professional sports, and that didn't happen. And that was all on my own decision and choice. So I kind of changed my own path and took what I learned on a path that I anticipated to be very different than where it ended. But I can tell you I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm really excited to help you guys, because this truly is something that you turn a hobby and a passion that you have into a business, and that will create any successful business. Having that heart and that passion. And I know you guys saw in the tour, Matt, who owns Iron Heart Brewing, he had said, this was a hobby of his. Brewing these was a hobby. And then he turned it into a business. And I personally am friends with Matt, and I can tell you he truly loves everything that he does in his business. And it's now a passion, a hobby, and his life. And he wouldn't change it, I don't think, either. So if you guys are making the choice to be entrepreneurs and own your own business, whether it be full-time or a part-time gig, we all started as part-time. Nobody woke up and said, I'm just going to do this and I have no money to start, I'm not going to do anything. But you develop it and you build it slowly, and it becomes part-time to full-time, and then it's everything for you. So I want to share this graphic with you guys so you can get an idea of taking advantage of every experience that you have offered to you, whether you're aware of it or not. As you can see here, these are all things that I've done from high school on that have helped me and I still use in my business today. At the bottom of the graphic, you can see my logo, Golden Owl Consulting, as well as the Andrew Mazza Foundation's logo. In addition to owning my own business, I was involved with the Andrew Mazza Foundation from day one. And that started after an unfortunate car accident of a friend who passed away, and we wanted to honor his memory. That was my first true business endeavor in a nonprofit. And 5 years later, things are fantastic, and we wouldn't change things with the organization whatsoever. I will always want to be a part of that, and it's something I've made grow. In addition to my full-time business, I also have this side project that I'm very passionate for as well. So you'll hear me talking about that organization a lot throughout this as well. And it's, again, my entrepreneurial endeavor is that nonprofit organization as well. So everything that you see here started back in high school. From a young age, I was always involved in cheerleading and business organizations and clubs and fundraising, and getting involved in the community was something that I just naturally gravitated towards and enjoyed doing. You can see I started event planning, fundraising, business courses, business clubs, anything that you can do to better yourself and learn more about anything is truly going to help you in the long run. For myself, I now work with so many different industries, and I also work with industries across the US. Some of those even actually have partners around the globe. So I work with everyone you can imagine across the world. And I found a way to do these projects, which started from learning how to volunteer and work with people and truly learn what people are trying to convey to you, um, what they would like from your services and your work and your product. And that is going to help you so much in the long run. And that started at a young age doing fundraising and events because people really do tell you, they voice their opinions and tell you what they want. So it's always important to listen no matter what industry you're going into. After Carbondale, I went to Temple University, where I studied sport and recreation management through the Fox School of Business. And that was at the time the number one school in the country for that program. And I think truly what helped them be that number one program was the city itself and where the school was located. At Temple, I got every piece of education I could imagine as far as the business world. And because my degree was in sport and recreation management, everything kind of took a twist in that realm. As far as examples, projects, scenarios, they really tried to play everything out within that specific topic of sport or recreation. It's there that I learned more about fundraising. I took a fundraising class, and my professor for the class was actually the lead fundraising chair for the Ronald McDonald House in the region. And her wealth of knowledge really inspired me to always want to be involved in some way in a volunteer organization or fundraising organization. And I never at that moment imagined that I would be behind the scenes of one of, the quickest growing nonprofits in our area, um, with the Andrew Mazza Foundation. So, other experiences that I had at Temple was volunteering. And I know it stinks. You don't want to ever give up your time. You always want to get some money, but it truly, truly will get you money in the long run. At Temple, I started volunteering when opportunities came up to wait tables at events and not get paid, but rub shoulders with big event planners. I took opportunities in class to work on projects, and the opportunities given to us were phenomenal because we actually were able to, as a class, plan legitimate events. We planned the grand opening of Alter Hall at Temple University, which was a $1 million event, broadcast on CNN, MSNBC, all of the major news outlets, Fox News. I got that exposure planning something my junior year of college that I didn't expect to use in the long run because I thought my path was sports marketing. So you can look through those lists and see everything here kind of rolls into one. Through Temple, then I got to work with the 76ers when I lived out in Philly, and I also came home during the summers and worked with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders and Yankees when they made the name change. So for the 76ers, I worked game day events, and I got to be at every home game, for 2 seasons, every home game, including playoffs, which was really, really cool. Being that that was my major, it was even more cool. But something that I took away from this was another networking aspect. This gave me the chance to rub shoulders with some really big athletes. I've met Allen Iverson, I've met Shaq, I've met Ryan Howard and Chase Utley coming off of the World Series win, and I'm a huge Phillies fan. So that was a really cool experience on the side. But it also taught me that I need to be able to keep my composure when working with anybody. You don't know when you open a restaurant and a celebrity comes in, you can't treat them that way. You need to treat them like they're everybody else, talk to them as if they were a person, greet them as if they were a person. You can give them a little extra care, but don't be obvious about it. And that's something that I've carried through to work with my clients. I want my clients to feel exclusive, but I don't want them to feel like everything is on them and the pressure is on them. I'm here to help them, just like I would be there to help the athletes when they needed something, when they needed to, as simple as where's the bathroom located, I've had. And you need to treat them with respect. And that's something that carries through with all of your clients, no matter what industry you're in. Then we move to the Trocadero Theater in Philadelphia. I wanted to get a little bit more into entertainment. I was, looking for something else, another avenue to learn, because I did get a lot of experience about 4 or 5 years from the time that I started here with the Yankees up until the Sixers. I got a lot of experience there and I started learning things. Eventually, with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees, my position became doing group sales and group events, which again played into learning how to run events. But when I moved over to the Trocadero, I got a lot of different experience that I've never had before. I started working with ticket coordination and payment coordination, riders, band contracts, entertainment venue contracts. I started working planning pop-up shows. We had one show where a larger name band came through and they wanted to do a show in between two of their big stadium shows at our venue. And that was something I got to work on with the managers there and put together in 3 days. And it was a sold out show, which was really cool, but it's something, again, I never thought I would be using in real life. So it was a great job and it was so much fun, learned a lot. And then I came home and started my internship with the YMCA. So I worked with a nonprofit and I learned all different segments of nonprofit management, grant writing, league management, marketing, membership services, how to put membership packages together. I really started getting deeper into the community event coordination and community relations with this job because it is something that the community relies upon, the YMCA, whether it be for recreation or childcare or local fundraisers when they do their Christmas events for local families. So I got to be exposed to so much of the nonprofit world through the YMCA. And with that little bit of niche marketing and the membership services helped me again along the road. So I'm going to wrap this all together for you at the end. So just keep these things in mind that they're slowly coming together in a way I didn't anticipate. So when I moved home, I started working with, after the internship, the Yankees again, and I did group sales. I was in an office with them in an office setting that I had not experienced yet before. And I quickly realized it wasn't for me. I loved sports. I loved the other jobs that I did, but I loved being out and interacting with people one-on-one, face-to-face, and really helping them just have a great experience, which was something that I couldn't do behind a desk there. And I quickly realized it was not for me. So after a short time, I decided to leave there and I started working for two small businesses that were in construction. As you can see, crystal clear pools and all around painting. This started in 2011. And I still am working and doing stuff for both of them today, now under my Golden Owl Consulting umbrella. So these two businesses really gave me my start that I didn't realize was my start for anything. I thought I was just making some money over the summer to get by until I found another big girl corporate job and see where that took me. So I came in and worked with them and helped them to transform their business. I took skills that I've learned along the way, and I learned new skills from their staff that helped me, again, still to this day. So working with them really taught me what it was for a small business to operate. Crystal Clear Pools was run by two brothers. One was the business side and one was more of the pool construction side. And I learned so much from each of them. And I still carry everything that I learned there with me today. That comes down to doing income taxes, store taxes, sales taxes, payroll, management of books and accounts and financing. I worked and started doing their advertising with them and helping them to grow. I transformed the inside of their store layout to be more functional for their customers. And I just did these things and learned and kind of taught myself as I go, realizing the components of things that go into customer care. I don't personally own a storefront right now, but I still help them do their storefront a few times since I've left there to kind of rearrange things and make things more flowing for the clients and to make more money because they have the right placement. Something, again, I never thought I would use today, and I'm still using it. Then that also, in addition, helped me to develop and learn how to write project quotes, maintain good client communication as I'm working on their projects, make sure that I'm including everything. Some of you may sell things and they're out the door and you don't see them again, but some of you may provide a service where you have to sign a contract with clients for every job that you do. And that's something that also helped me to learn and better communicate things to my clients is working with them and understanding what they wanted for their their home to be painted like, any specifications that they had for that, any special products that they wanted used. Same thing for the pool. If they wanted a certain style, a certain look, a certain texture to the concrete around the pool, that's all something that I had to ask. And it really helped me prepare to ask a lot of questions of my clients. Because for me, that's the only way that I can truly get to know them, is to ask a lot of questions and have a lot of conversations with them as I develop their marketing. After those two businesses, I worked with them for about a year, and then I needed money. Doesn't everybody? Don't we all? So I still helped them part-time when I could, and I still helped them run their business in the background, but I took on a full-time job at a dental office, which I again had no desire, but the money looked good. I needed it. We'd work on getting to sports again down the road, maybe. I started there and I learned dental insurance coordinating. Great experience. And it taught me so many things that I actually didn't anticipate about client relations. My job was to go in and break the news to you that you needed a filling and it was going to cost this much money. And then that was a hard conversation to have. A lot of times now, I present some packages and proposals, and it's not an easy conversation to have. You can ask any entrepreneur across the board, and I'm fairly sure each one of us has had an experience with a friend or a family member, or even someone we've never met, who wants our service at their rate and not ours. This taught me that conversation, how to have it, and how to have it where we are trying to do the best work we can for you, but you do need to pay what you need to pay to have it done. But we're going to do our best to make sure that you get it and it's perfect for you. And that job really helped me. And we actually did training there. I flew to Atlanta with that job and was able to go to an institute that specializes on specifically working with your patients in that scenario, as well as marketing scenario, when after 2 years of doing insurance, I became the marketing director for two currently running offices and one office that was in the process of opening, and they were remodeling and renovating. And that was a really cool project. I got to learn, the grand opening process, working with the local chambers, setting things up that they could have a ribbon cutting and a ceremony. And I worked with them on patient prospecting, finding patients in that area. How are we going to reach this whole new client base? And that dental insurance position grew into something where I learned a lot. And at this point, I got to work with my first marketing agency. I was a liaison between the company and the agency itself. And that allowed me to really learn the ins and outs of how an agency would work, the things that go into it, the care that you should be giving to your clients, and the resources that you have to have in your pocket. The advertiser that, hey, I need hoodies printed up, can you do it quick? You need the person that can do that for you. I ran out of business cards, I need them now, how do I get them? Oh, I have that person. Even as far down as to catering, I have a few people that I work with for events that are my caterers, and that's 3 businesses that I'm very close with that I recommend to my clients hosting events and let them choose. But that all came from planning those events, realizing that you need to working with the agency, to realizing that you need all those people in your corner, and the list is endless. I have photographers I work with, venues I prefer, everything down as to certain vendors to use for tents or chairs and tables. Those are things that I realized I've been building all along, and I finally came to fruition years later when I'm doing these positions, that I can have that group of people and that pool of people because of my networking throughout the time I've left college or left high school. Even in high school, a lot of things have come from high school. I have the company that I work for tents is Morrison's, who employed a lot of my high school friends. And now I work with him exclusively on my tents and my tables and chairs when I need them. And that's something that came out of 2006, or even before that, my friends all through high school. So anyways, after getting to Horizon, we got the experience of working with the agency. And then I moved over to ServPro, which is a corporate franchise locally owned. A corporate business locally owned franchised. So that gave me the opportunity to work one-on-one with my first nonprofit. Early on, when I got started there doing their marketing and sales, I began working with them on a nonprofit for local kids in the area for Christmas who couldn't afford sneakers and good shoes. We raised money and we ran a couple fundraising events, and we were able to supply the Boys and Girls Club of Scranton, all of the kids, with new shoes for Christmas, which was really cool. And unfortunately, I only got to be a part of that for 1 year, but that was really the first nonprofit foundation event, everything that I spearheaded and went through. That was the year after the Andrew Mazza Foundation had actually started. However, there was more hands in the pot there, and this one was more on my shoulders. So now, after working with ServPro, unfortunately, they had to close their doors. And at this point is when I really started. This was 2018, the end of 17 into 18. And that's when I said, I'm ready to do this. I think I have enough experience. I really know in my heart, this is what I want to do. And keep in mind, throughout all of these jobs, there have been sprinkles of friends who I've helped plan events, marketing, doing, hey, can you design my business card? My dad's in a band that I have designed their business cards for them. My aunt has a business. I've done her stuff. I've done little things in between here, social media, websites, all of that for friends and getting experience and growing my book of business. So then when ServPro closed, it came time to say, okay, I'm ready to do this. And I couldn't do it alone. So when I started, I was a part-time marketing, and I worked with someone who I had met through networking. Again, you're going to hear networking so many times throughout this because it's so important. It truly is what will grow your business, and what will sustain your business is your network. So through my networking connections, I became the marketing director representative for Tech 42, working directly with their sales director and coming up with programs that we could market and create and go through the sales funnel with them in the marketing realm and kind of be their support. So that helped me really, really, really build the foundation while I was working and starting to grow my business, of learning to run campaigns and learn new softwares. And they truly were wonderful to work with because they gave me all the tools that I needed to better their business, but learn for myself as well that I can use for my clients. And it really gave me, they were a very transparent company. Like, you knew what was going on. So that helped. Like, when they had an issue with clients, they kind of let us in and we could see everything that they were dealing with. And it was very helpful on the customer service end, which again is something you really don't realize. So now, years later, I just actually yesterday celebrated my 3rd year of Golden Owl Consulting on January 25th. And that was so exciting. I went full time this June. In the middle of COVID, a lot of businesses needed a lot of help. And unfortunately, at that point, I was working from home because of COVID. And I made the decision to help Tech 42 with what they needed, but under the Golden Owl umbrella. And I've been full-time, and things are growing and going great. And the Andrew Mazza Foundation is so excited to get back to planning things next year. The one thing I truly have missed throughout all of this has been planning events and getting to do face-to-face events with people, because that's what I really loved about doing this. But I also love helping people grow their business and help them find different ways and different strategies to come up with to help them when they need it coming out of this slump. I've had clients come and go. As far as having to open and close their business, we'd have to change the marketing constantly. I've had restaurants that are open one day, and then we find out in 2 days we have to change everything to close. And I help them with that on that end. So what I want you guys to take out of this spiel for you today about my history is that every experience you have, please take it in and learn from it. Even if you're volunteering at something and you'd rather be at the movies with your friends, you really need to take that in, because later in life, that's what's going to help you grow your business, or all those little experiences that led up to something you didn't expect. I expected to be working with a football team, probably college level, maybe professional, doing marketing and doing game day events with them. I'm nowhere near that. And I don't think I would change that for anything right now. I'm very happy with this. So with that, I will wrap things up on this. I want to show you very quickly what we're going to be doing for the year, or for the sessions, I should say. And let me just share my screen again with you here. And this is the upcoming courses that we're going to be working on. So we're going to start with strategizing, brainstorming, coming up with your campaign and different topics, what we're going to need, everything that needs to go into making your marketing campaign a success, things you need to think about in the beginning and lay out throughout the process. And then here it is, networking, networking, networking. That was the favorite saying in my school at Temple throughout all the professors. So this is so important. I know that the SBDC is going to come in and do some sessions on networking. And as part of my growth into my own business, I also was able to attend the Scranton's, the University of Scranton SBDC's program for women entrepreneur startups. And I did that program 3 years ago when I started my business. And I'm very excited to get you guys involved with them because they are a phenomenal resource. I still use them, and I actually use them a lot for my clients, for their marketing for my business clients. So anyways, we're going to do a lot of networking talk in that one, but this is also going to teach you guys how you're going to approach the different businesses that you're going to choose to work with to feature in your commercial. After that, Dan is going to come in and kind of teach you guys the editing, the video process, what you want to look for, how you want to film, lighting, angles, all that kind of stuff he's going to go over with you. And then it's time to make your campaign come to life. We're going to lay out the video, lay out the timeline, set the schedule for your day, your filming schedule, writing your script. There's so much that goes into it that you're going to work up to doing, and I'm going to guide you guys through that as well. And then finally, once you have everything done and we have your commercial, I'm going to help you guys to get it marketed to different news stations, different local chambers, resources. Like I said before, I don't want to spoil everything because we're going to, I'd like you guys to come up with some places that we can use as an outlet. So this is what it's going to look like on my end of things for the next couple weeks coming up to help you guys as we go through and develop the course and help you guys learn the marketing aspect of putting this video project together and helping your local small business community throughout this, troubling time with COVID. And I think we all like to think it's almost over, but unfortunately here we are, and these businesses really truly need your help. I have had a few business clients that unfortunately have had to close their doors for the time being. And this could be something huge for them and a huge learning experience for you guys. And I'm so excited to be working on this project with everybody. So with that being said, please, as John had said, if you have any questions, need any help, any clarification, anything I can help you guys with along this path, please feel free to ask your teachers to get in touch with me, and I will do my best to answer. We are going to try and incorporate some live sessions, some Q&A sessions for you guys. So we're learning as well as we go, and we're very excited. I can speak on my behalf of myself and everyone involved in the program that I spoke with. Very excited to find a way to bring this to you guys and help you still grow and become entrepreneurs one day, even if you don't expect it. So that is the end of my first session. And I hope that you guys all have a great day. And again, if there's any questions, you have any ideas, please let me know. And I am sending you home with a little bit of homework. I want you guys to think of a few local businesses and how you want to portray them in this video. This is going to come in handy when we do our next session. So go home, think about some local businesses, and they can be family businesses, businesses of friends, businesses you like going to. There's no real criteria for what local small businesses we're going to feature. So go home, think about those things, think of some of the businesses, talk to these business owners in your spare time, ask them how this has been for them, really get to know them and come back and say, wow, these 3 businesses are ones that I would really like to feature in this commercial. And then from that point, we're going to start brainstorming. So if you have any questions, please let your teachers know and feel free to reach out to them, to reach out to me, and I'll see you soon.